All right, cool.
Awesome.
Sweet, man. Let's get it going. What's up,
Yeah,
guys?
I think we're just gonna go ahead and start because I know that we definitely have some things that need to dive deep into, or at least just not make sure that it's clarified.
Yeah,
And other than that, this is going to be recorded, so that's one of the best parts about it. We'll make sure to forward it, to any buyers who missed it or any agents who are looking for this information to share lenders as well.
cool, cool.
So, without further ado, I'll start this here. Welcome everyone. Oh, sorry, Melquan just joined. Let me admit him.
A lot
Yeah,
of information here. A
yeah,
lot of information.
he
If you
should
guys
be.
want to take notes, great.
Yes, please feel free to take notes again. You'll have all of these slides, and I will make sure to leave a good amount of time for question and answers because that's really probably where we'll get the most out of it because everyone's going to have some good situational questions. And that's where our professional expertise can really come in. So, without further ado, welcome everyone to this webinar here. This is really just created by Douglas Santos and ourselves, but really it was created by MassHousing. It's our responsibility to relay this information to you as best as possible, and so that's what we've done this past week and a half since it's been out. This is a very new program and it's only for the state of Massachusetts for first-time home buyers. So again, you have to be eligible, qualified, follow through, certified with this thing. So there is, there's ropes in between that we're here to help you climb. But without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. So I'm going to introduce myself here. My name is Xavier Cole. I am the CEO of the Xavier Cole Real Estate Group with eXp Realty. I actually just joined this company, and so far it's been great. I've been loving it, a lot more motivated. My little bit about my background, I graduated the University of Connecticut with a finance degree and focused in real estate and sales. Now I'm studying with my MBA at Salem State, and real estate has been a full-time career for me for the past 3 years. And Doug has been right by my side when we first started.
Oh, yeah.
So on that note, I'll let him introduce himself.
What's up, guys? My name is Doug. I'm a loan officer here at Cross Country Mortgage. I've been in business since getting out of college. I went to Assumption College over in Worcester. I'm originally from Brazil, but first place I came to was Peabody, so that's where I do all my business. I'm all around the North Shore, plus I'm in some other states as well. So this program, it is a gem. But the thing is, there's a lot of requirements. There's a lot of certain qualifications aside from the Mass grant itself. So if you want to get into that, go right into it because I am on a tight schedule right now. So I do got to run out around 4:35. Yeah. So we got to try to bang this out as quick as we can. So if I don't answer all your questions or we don't answer all your questions, please, Kingsley, me and you've been in touch, and you may have a potential to get into this loan program. But if you have any additional questions after we speak, please reach out. We'll have all of our information on here. So if you guys want to, learn more and how to get started, we'll get that going. As soon as we're done with this.
Sorry, someone just texted me for the code. XCRE. I just didn't want to make sure to post it because it's a password.
Yeah, fair.
So I did make sure to invite everybody. So that's great. On that note, that's why I made sure to get Doug in here because he's a lender and he's been great at his job, very active, and he actually cares about people. So on this note, I'll go right into it. The basic requirements of this product. So you must live in a city or town disproportionately impacted by COVID-19. Meaning that the government has done their studies and noticed economically that these certain towns are not operating at their full level. Their citizens aren't able to operate financially, like the same type of thing. On that note, I've listed here the 29 cities and towns in which are included. How this works is you have to live in this town currently and be from there. On that note, you can purchase, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Doug, you can purchase anywhere throughout the Massachusetts state.
Correct. However, you have to qualify for a mass housing program that allows you to purchase in any city. Some specific mass housing programs will only support you and allow you to qualify for their program if you if you're buying within the 26 gateway cities. So that's where it can get a little tricky, right? You have to, that your number one is, you know, in order to even be considered for the grant, you have to be a first-time home buyer, and you know, you have to have a 45 debt to income ratio. You got to get pre-approved, right?
Right.
But the big thing is within these certain programs, there are certain different requirements, but along the line, they all require a minimum 640 credit score and a maximum DTI, which is debt to income ratio of 45%. So that means that a regular FHA loan will allow you to go up to a back end ratio, which is all your housing expenses plus your debt, up to 55%. MassHousing will only allow you to go up to 45%. So what they're trying to say with that is that they want you to be comfortably affording whatever the purchase price is, because the less the DTI, the less the purchase price. So in order for you to, you know, get into this program, you have to have a debt to income below 45%.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. So to recap that right there, that touched on two notes that I had here. So it must be first-time home buyers, and they must purchase using a mortgage loan by a MassHousing lender and also a MassHousing product. So that's why, as we just said, getting pre-approved and consulting with the lenders, the first thing, so that they can sift through, figure out your product, and then move forward with this process. So that's great. On that note, borrowers, you must attend a first-time home buying class. They want you to be educated. And to recap before too, 640 credit and 45 or below DTI. Remember that, you know, so that you're prepared if you're ever running your financials before you even come to Doug. But at the same time, that's what Doug's there for. So
and we run scenarios, you know,
and by the time you're getting consultations with us, we'll be sending you the links to these classes, making sure you're enrolled, making sure you have the correct contact info to do these steps here. So you go ahead and you speak with us and you get qualified, you get pre-approved. Okay, you can do that any time of the day at www.dougsantos.com. That's what he's there for. After that, once we have your pre-approval in hand, we have the www.mymasshome.org. This is where you can get a certificate to determine your eligibility. Now, this certificate does not guarantee that you're getting into the program, that you're receiving all the funds, that it's covering anything. All it does is give Doug a certification from MassHousing to move forward.
So going off of that, the certificate does us no good, right? Until you have an offer accepted. Okay? In order to get your offer accepted, you must get pre-approved. Therefore, you must be eligible for a MassHousing program first, right? Because MassHousing programs, there's this one specific program that I'm working with a client right now. It's called a Workforce Advantage 3.0. Now, this specific program has income limits, very harsh income limits, in my opinion. They have in Essex County, in order to qualify, you can't make more than $54,150. So if you're trying to buy a two-family and you're trying to utilize the income from the two families to qualify for a higher amount, and it passes $54,150, you no longer qualify for this program. Now, the beauty about this program, and this is just in Bristol County, so Essex County for us, right? Peabody, Lynn, Salem, that's actually a little bit higher. That's $78,300. Now that may qualify you for a solid single family, right? But the beauty about this program that makes it unlike any other is that it allows up for down payment assistance up to 10% of the purchase price, or $50,000, whichever is less. So if you do a $400,000 purchase price, they will cover $40,000 of that. If you do a $500,000 purchase price, they will cover $50,000 of that, because that's 10% of whatever the purchase price is. that becomes a second loan on your property. The difference is it does not require, it's a forgivable loan. So it doesn't, there's no interest rate, there's nothing. That loan, you got to pay it back, I believe, when you either refinance or sell the house. That's the only time you had to pay that loan back.
So you're saying that through this program, if you were to get it,
This program,
once you sell the property, that say it was 50,000 towards down payment assistance. Once you sold the property 20 years from now, that 50,000 essentially just gets sent back to the grantors, correct?
so this is without the grant. This is just the program in itself. This is just the down payment. So there's a difference between a down
okay.
payment.
I'm sorry. I wanted to clarify to make sure you weren't getting onto
that's
this
fine.
because
No.
you know,
Right. That's what gets a lot of people confused, right? So
right.
down payment assistance it's program. It's a feature. Let's call it a feature, right? This program features the 10% up to 10% of the purchase price. Now, when you qualify for this program and you get into the home buying process, you found a house, you got a purchase and sale agreement, because we do need a purchase and sale agreement to get going on the process. Once the grant gets approved, it can take over that full 50,000 down payment, or you can still use the $50,000 down payment, right? And the grant will cover up to 5% of the purchase price. That's the big thing about the grant. It will only go up to 5% of the purchase price.
Yes,
however,
I have that written in here.
Right. However, you can still use the Workforce Advantage 3.0. So what they're trying to do with this is they don't want people depending on the grant, right? That's why you have to qualify for a down payment assistance program. Because if you don't get the grant, because let's say you find a house in a month and the grant has ran out of its money, no more money, you have a backup plan. Correct. You have the Workforce Advantage to back up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. So, but still, now on that note, let's say we did that scenario you're saying. Their loan product is the Workforce Advantage. They got a feature of a down payment assistance to add on to their down payment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, 20 years down the line, we sell our property, and we received 30,000 in the down payment assistance. Is that down payment assistance equity on our end, or is it sent back because it's a forgivable loan?
I believe that is I believe it just goes away because it's a forgivable loan. Now, this other product that we have, it doesn't go away. So you're required to pay that back if you refinance or sell the house before the amortization of the loan is complete. Okay. Meaning the loan is completely paid off.
So you don't have to pay it back and you don't receive it back, but what it was there for was to give you a cushion when you're support when you're submitting offers, so that you can actually get in with say 15% equity out of nowhere if you put those two together. That makes sense.
Right.
Not only getting your offer accepted, just being in if you're putting 15% down in this market, you're probably pretty sound financially, and your mortgage payment's probably pretty good too, and you're not leveraging too much or too less of debt, you know?
Right. So and the big important thing here to know, I don't mean to cut you off, X.
Yeah.
Income limits, right?
Yes,
this seems great right now. Seems great. You know, everybody's like, oh, wow, this is great, up to 10%. But the income limits are the big factor.
I had it here. Let me make sure that you know what? I'm going to review the income. Yeah, there we are.
Yeah. So this one is for the MassDREAM. So in order to even get to this, you first need to get approved for, because these programs, the MassHousing programs, trump everything. They trump.
So, for example, Doug, you're saying Workforce 360 is going to have its own set of this, correct?
Correct.
And which you have to qualify for. Then, if you want this feature, this is separate, and this is just the one specifically that we have here.
Correct.
But it's good. Correct. It's good, at least comparable on that note.
So the MassDREAMS grant is the MassDREAMS grant is its own, right? And then from here we have to go. All right. Well, where does this person fit in the mass housing program? And this is the workforce. If you don't mind, X, I'll just
Yeah.
share my screen real quick.
Let me
So you guys could have just ready, X?
wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
not
did
sure
it.
if I have to go into my settings. I also just
Okay.
realized that
You know what? I'm just gonna I think I did send it to you, X. The product
I
matrix.
guess I guess Zoom is I'm on the free product of Zoom, and so
Okay,
I have a limited time,
that's fine.
which means that what I'm going to do is just restart it. So anyone on this call, just hop right back in,
Hey,
basically.
real quick, I think I just sent it to you through email. Just go in there, and I'm sure you can share your screen,
Sorry
right?
about this. Yeah. Yes, I can. Let me just exit out of here. And so you sent it to my email?
Yeah.
This should be.
I sent it to
Or did you send it to my Common Moves email? Because that one's old.
no, it's your
EXP email.
oh yeah, it is actually that one. So let me just forward you this.
Yeah, I remember I sent you an email earlier today with the slides.
XP, got it. All right, so it should be in there. It's the mass housing product matrix. Now, each one, the main one that I've come across that is going to be most beneficial to people, because there's one, a higher income limit, and two, there's also the down payment assistance. However, this down payment assistance only allows up to 5% of the purchase price, unlike the Workforce 3.0, which allowed 10% of the purchase price. 5% of the purchase price for first-time home buyer conventional, that's what the name of the product is, or 15,000, whichever is less of those two. Right? So in this case, let's say theoretically we're getting a $500,000 purchase price, and 5% of that is 25,000. However, this loan, this specific product will only cover up to 15,000, which is okay because you can do a 3% down payment on this product, and that down payment is fully covered by the grant if it comes in. And first, it's covered by the down payment assistance, right? 3% of 500,000 is 15,000. That is covered even if you don't get the grant. You are going to be required to come to closing costs, closing with the down payment, with the closing cost money, which is anywhere from 3 to 5% of the purchase price. So with that being said, 15,000, 3%, right? You can put that down. If the grant comes in and you get the money for the grant is actually going to go up to 5% of the purchase price, right? So if you decide to put down an extra 2% to be equivalent to that 5, you guys with me?
Yeah.
Everybody with me? If you make up the difference, you're going to get your 2% back when the mass grant comes in, because they cover up to 5%. Does that make sense? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, the remaining of the funds is going to go towards buying down your interest rate and the remaining costs for closing costs. Everybody with me?
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So you're going to get reimbursed. But the thing is, the hardest thing about these programs is that you have to get the debt to income below a 45%. That's the biggest difficult thing that I've been dealing with, because a lot of people won't qualify doing 3% on the down payment assistance. You know what I mean? And a lot of people won't qualify for the 10% down for the Workforce 3.0 because their DTIs are too high. So that is the main driving factor, is the DTI, because like I have a borrower who I just ran the scenario through today. The only way he qualifies for 400,000 purchase price is if he does a 10% down payment. Now I said to him, look, you can take out the down payment assistance second loan for the 15,000. However, you won't qualify if you only do, because that's going to be, it comes out being like, it's 15,000 of the purchase price. He's going to have to make up the difference in purchase from the down payment assistance all the way through the 10%. He has to make up that difference, because if he doesn't, he won't qualify for the loan. I told him, if you don't take it out and you bring the 10%, you qualify, because the down payment assistance is still a second loan at a 2%. That's the difference with this program. The other one had no payment on it. This one has a 2% interest rate over 15 years. So that gets included to your debt to income, which then bumps him up over the 45%. You guys with me? Yeah. I know it's a lot of information. It's kind of tough not being able to see everybody. I see everybody's names. I'm like, all right, I hope you guys got that.
Yeah, it's
you guys are free to speak,
track,
everybody.
But,
yeah.
Are there any questions here so far?
Guys, feel free to speak. This is a safe place. I don't want to.
Can we try like maybe running a scenario? Let's say now, like
so once you've gone ahead, had the purchase and sale signed, you had your offer accepted. Now you're going to go ahead and register on MassHousing again after after all of these things that we went over previously. You got pre-approved, you submitted your certification, you've got it in hand, you began your home search, you're good to go, you're qualified. Now we've got to make sure that you're good to go with MassHousing. You're going to upload all of your stuff, and so they can do their final verifications. Once they're going to be in communication with Doug or your preferred lender, and the processing period on that should take about 5 to 10 business days. And that's, again, just quoting from what I've been able to gather. Obviously they rolled this program out so they can service us. So they're ready to go. They want us to approach them and for you all to be purchasing homes. So once they give a verification, well, then Doug can continue his normal underwriting process. That's a whole separate consultation that we could have one day, the whole sale process. But this is going to fall into between when you're negotiating your final terms, purchase and sale, somewhere between your purchase and sale and your closing date. All of this is going to be getting verified along there, and Doug will be able to hopefully get you your whole loan underwritten and clear to close. And that's when I wrote here, this is the best thing of it all. You're going to be closing on a property. You're officially a homeowner. Upon all of that underwriting review, your signing of your purchase and sale, you've done your final walkthrough, all that good stuff. This is what we're here for, and what the goal of this webinar is, for you to be purchasing your first home. Right. On that note, we reviewed a few of the income limits and touched a lot on how they intertwine with the qualifications of this program, how you're going to need a MassHousing sponsored lending product in which you're going to have to fall under their income limits. And then if you're looking to enroll in this grant, these are the income limits there. And that is, again, I can't touch upon how much and how important consulting with a mortgage lender is worth it. You know, whether it's 15 to an hour to 2 hours a day or a week of picking Doug's brain and him doing work behind the scenes for you. This is the kind of stuff that you piece together and you would figure out. Because at first glance, like, Doug, when you were running the scenarios, it was good to hear, but it's hard to track. You know? Yeah, no,
I know it's a lot, and that's why I don't want to discourage anybody. You know, I want people to come to me to be able to explain it in more depth. You know, so you can kind of understand. But Kingsley asked me to run a scenario just to go off of basic numbers. We could do it real quick. Let's say we wanted to do you were over the income limits for the workforce 3.0. So you got qualified for the first time homebuyer conventional. So you did that just for example, just for example purposes, right? We're going to go 500,000. Now you can get up to 5%, okay, of the purchase price, or for this specific program, or 15,000, whichever is less. So 5% of $500,000 is $25,000. Now, this program only gives down payment assistance up to 5% or 15,000, whichever is less. So in this case, you would only be eligible for 15,000, which is 3%. Now, if you don't want to give the extra 2%, that's fine. Let's go off of the 3% down. when everything is in the right, we have to get it approved. We have to get it registered through MassHousing. We have to get it all set for the grant to come in play. Now, once we get the grant to come in play, they're gonna cover up to 5% of the purchase price. Therefore, you don't have to utilize the down payment assistance anymore of the 15,000 because the grant is going to go up to 5%, I'm sorry, which is the 25,000. Now the remaining funds can go towards your closing costs. In those closing costs, we'll have attorney fees, we'll have appraisals, we'll have title, everything will be in those closing costs. Now, those usually range from 3 to 5%. So if we're talking a loan size, we're talking around 10 to 12,000. Out of that 12,000, let's say that covers all the closing costs, you have more money left. You can actually buy down your interest rate up to 2% of the loan amount. So if the loan amount is, let's say, 400,000, that's $8,000 for 2 points that could go towards buying down your interest rate. And that alone may be good to if you buy down the rate, you can get a lower debt to income. So if you're at like a 45.5 and you buy down the rate, you can bring it below 45, making you eligible. Now, the thing with that is, if you don't get the grant money, you still need to pay those points in order to qualify. So that's why I'm kind of letting people know, like, if the grant money's not there, do you have enough funds to cover those extra 2 points of 8,000? Because that's what you need to qualify for 45, to have a debt to income of 45 or below. That's what you need. So some people say, no, I don't have it. So what we do is we have to qualify them for less in order to get that debt to income below that 45. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. So like what it sounds like is that this is a boatload of money, but it's used very strategically.
Correct.
In the case of, well, first, we're going to first off try to make sure that your original lending product can take care of you. On that note, we want to make sure that if anything was to fall through, that you're fine and you can take care of yourself.
Right.
And then moving forward on this product, we'll give you the differences, not in your pocket, but only towards covering these things that can utilize and lower the cost so that you can still afford to purchase a home.
You got it.
Cool, man. So I'll just recap some of the main points that I had. Doug mentioned you're going to have to use at least 5% towards your down payment. All the other differences is what I just explained. I know what those will cover, and Doug went over it too. As you can see, we came prepared. Doug, I think even more than myself, and that's what he's here for anyways, because he's a lender. But we're here and know the ins and outs of this, and anything we don't know, we'll be on top of in communications with it. This is a first come, first serve program. I think we had already mentioned that these monies are government funded and they'll run out. And so maybe there will be anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 people in the state that get to capitalize on this. Who knows? Who knows if maybe people just won't be able to pull it together and it'll drag out. Maybe everyone's ready and has the pent up demand and this is eaten up in a month. Because this is a hot market right now. Whether you're a buyer or seller, if you're serious and motivated, the things are happening any which way. And Doug can attest. So your step right now is making sure you have a consultation, getting pre-approved. We always harp on it. You'll hear it out of our mouths a million times. It's almost like a jingle. Get pre-approved. Like that's straight up it. Because at that point we can help you so much more. So that we're not just blabbing at you. On that note, contact us today. This is all of our contact information. Anyone on this call will be receiving this. I'm going to make sure to send this specifically to, first-time home buyers in my network, people that, deserve the information, that really want to get after it. Because this, to me, this is sacred. This is an opportunity for so many people that I know to get into their first property, to change their ways of generations in terms of renting forever. Especially this younger generation is a huge transfer in wealth. And so are you going to start riding that wave, or are you just going to sit and watch things pass? Because I know I'm a young cat myself and I can't wait to own property. And so I know so many people, even many of our clients, Doug, they comment, they say, what? I wish this was here last year. And so that's what we're here for. That's really all that I had for everyone. I thank everyone for coming onto this call and spending your quick time this afternoon. Doug, for preparing so well to consult us on this. And again, my role in the search is in this process is to, as you can see, is to coordinate this all with Doug alongside all of my partners. You know, from the very touch of when you first see a property online to when you have any concerns to when you have a late night text, like, you know, sometimes it might have to wait, but at least I have it on my mind for you. We are here to make sure you get an offer accepted, that there's no issues at closing, et cetera, et cetera. But I just wanted to leave it on the note that your journey to generational wealth started today on this call, and we look forward to working with you all. I don't know if Doug has any other questions, any other comments, but I just wanted to open this up to any questions at all about real estate, the program, or down payment, or whatever's going on.
Yeah, off of what you said, X, we're here for you guys. You know what I mean? What my goal is to help the next person, and there's so many opportunities in the real estate, you know, space. It's like, you know, with this in mind, it's unheard of. You know, this is going to go down in the history books. Like, do you remember 2022, they gave out up to $50,000 for down payment closing costs?
For example, the top of my mind, I know this because I know Salem. And after the World War, the government gave loans to soldiers when they came home. And so if anyone knows down the Salem Willows Memorial Drive, that was all funded by government money in which they built neighborhoods. And so, sorry, you had just mentioned history, and so that's why I wanted to mention it.
Exactly, man. So if you guys want, you know, to sit down, to talk more about it, to kind of, you know, straighten the details out of what we can do, you know, we have contact in these slides. So just feel free to reach out. And, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say you're gonna hear back with the pre-approval ready to go within the next 24 hours, because it's slammed right now, and it's a good thing. I'm not complaining, but we do have a team of 3. You know, all of us are licensed to do what we do. So if you guys are, you know, want to know more and are willing to take the next steps, just please reach out.
For sure. Any questions anyone has?
Oh yes, I kind of have a question, but just as a backup plan before like doing all these steps, it's kind of advisable to actually have the money, the actual down payments, just in case none of this works out.
Correct. So the down payment assistance, the first time home buyer conventional, which allows you to go up to a down payment assistance of 3%, that's covered, right? That of 5% or 15,000, that's covered, right? Qualify for it. If your DTI is below 45, you got a minimum 6.4, 640. We get an approved eligible from our automated underwriting system. It's good. But now you just got to be aware that if the grant doesn't come to pay down to 2 points, if you want to take advantage of that, and the closing costs, if it doesn't come through, you got to be responsible for that.
Okay. So essentially, when you get pre-approved for your MassHousing loan, that conventional one, if Doug was to give you that pre-approval, he's telling you that you're good with that initial down payment assistance. That's it. You're still responsible for your closing costs. Although we're going to apply for this grant so that we can see what we can do to clear your closing costs. And if so, then we're good. And if not, then you're prepared anyways, and we're still good.
Correct.
Yeah. Cool. Cool
Any
stuff. Honestly, that was a great question, because like I think that we harped on that a couple of times, and I think that it's going to be one of the most general mistaken understandings in this whole process. You know, like, you know, is this money free? How does it work? You know, where is it coming from, and how is it going to cover X, Y, Z, and what if? You know, it's good, really good question.
Can be gifted to you. The closing costs and the gift money and the buy down money can be gifted. So that's also something to keep in the back of your mind.
Oh yeah, it always can be gifted. There's so much more that we could have included in here in terms of down payment, you know, strategic ways to make sure that you secure a property. And that's what the next webinar will be for.
100%.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys have any other questions? Michelle?
Hi, guys. I know I came in a little bit later. I did get a gist of what you were actually speaking about. And from my understanding, this particular program is if you're going conventional, correct?
No, they do have first-time home buyer. They do have FHA products also, but it's the same requirement. Like it's still 640. The DTI is 45. Like a regular FHA allows it to go up to 50 back end, but this one doesn't. They want to, like I said, make sure that you're comfortably affording your mortgage and not, use your money for your mortgage payment.
Okay. Well, I can go either or because I'm self-employed, but I was just asking
Okay.
because I kind of came in because I noticed that's what you mentioned.
Yes.
You didn't mention, right. Okay.
Correct.
I mean, I do have other questions. I do have your contact information, both of you guys. So
Yeah,
I'll
I don't
definitely
know,
reach out.
Michelle, I don't know if you could just send me a direct message, your contact information again. I don't think I was able to gather it from the last one.
Okay. I'll go
Okay.
ahead and do that.
Thank you.
Cool. And
Yeah, but did you have another question real quick, or you just wanted to wait for later?
I did because I don't know what I really missed at the beginning.
Okay,
Because I
then.
think I came on like 15 minutes behind time.
Oh, no
So
worries.
I don't know what you actually started with. I did
Well,
see
that's
that there was
awesome because we have this all recorded. So
Okay.
it's going to be sent directly to you once I have your contact information in here. I'll make sure not to hang up till I see it in this chat.
Okay.
all right, cool.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Of course, thank you.
You got you.
I may have already sent you the email to this invite, so maybe I do have your email. Okay. Yeah, Absolute Divine. Okay, perfect. All right then. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Everyone have a great evening.
Have a good one. Thank you.
To you guys as well.
All right. Bye-bye.